Chapter 13. The Power of Cosmic Habit Force. This law of nature is the basis for all of our habits, both good and bad. Cosmic habit force is another vital part of the principles here mentioned in this book because it is the means by which you and every other person can put into operation an irresistible power by which your aims and purposes are attained almost automatically by the action of your habits. This law is called cosmic habit force. This law gives definiteness of action to everything that moves throughout the entire universe. It keeps the stars and planets in their accustomed places. It fixes the life patterns of every living thing, from the smallest insect to the largest animals. But man can rise above these fixed patterns by establishing his own pattern. This privilege is the only thing over which man has complete power of control and direction. It is interesting to observe that the Creator never gives man any form of riches without sending along with it the means by which man might do whatever he pleases with those riches. Like every other natural law, cosmic habit force has both a positive and a negative potential application. The negative application of this law is called hypnotic rhythm. Hypnotic rhythm addresses negligence in fixing our thoughts upon the things we desire in life. This in turn attracts to us the physical counterpart of the things we do not wish for. We must keep our mind occupied with the life pattern of the things and circumstances we desire, until the pattern is taken over and made permanent by cosmic habit force. Cosmic habit force is like a watchdog, so to speak. It looks over your shoulders all throughout life, examines every thought you release and every act you engage upon. It forces upon you the penalties or rewards in those two sealed envelopes described earlier on in the book. When you understand the principle of cosmic habit force, it is clear enough that you cannot go through life without using the power of this law to carry out the circumstances and the desires you voluntarily choose. We have the power of choice here. Neglecting to exercise the power of cosmic habit force will always bring about retribution upon us. As you acquire the principles in this book and put them to use, you will get a more impressive understanding of the powers that are available to you. You may also acquire a better understanding as to why these principles have been spread throughout the world without organized business management behind them. This science of success philosophy has brought great success to more people than any other philosophy designed to help individuals take possession of their own mind. Nothing ever just happens by luck because every effect has its definite cause. Here are a few illustrations on how the law of cosmic habit force operates. 1. Cosmic habit force fixes the habits of the electrons and protons of matter so that their relationship and chemical behavior always follows the same pattern. We see that everything throughout the universe comes under the influence of cosmic habit force and moves and exists by a pattern. Only man can break the habits established by cosmic habit force and set up the habits of his or her own choice. 2. Cosmic habit force fixes the pattern of every form of vegetation that grows from the earth, so that each thing that is reproduced has its own pattern. A grain of wheat always reproduces another grain of wheat, but never makes the mistake of producing oats or some other form of growth. One atom of hydrogen and two atoms of oxygen combined always produce water, and never anything else, because their chemical reaction has been fixed by cosmic habit force. 3. When the human mind is focused on a definite major purpose, the law of cosmic habit force goes into action immediately and attracts to the individual the material equivalent of that purpose. The procedure never varies in this instant. However, hypnotic rhythm, the opposite, will always attract to you the undesirable negative things and circumstances which the mind is allowed to dwell upon. Poverty, ill health, failure, and fear are just examples. 4. Cosmic habit force, which expresses itself through the emotion of sex, is the means by which every living thing perpetuates its species. If you understand this truth, you will better understand the irresistible forces of the profound emotion of sex. You will also better understand why aims and purposes, which are expressed orally under the great creative forces of sex emotion, are acted upon so rapidly by cosmic habit force. 5. We sometimes hear people speak of successful men as being on the beam, which means that those who enjoy success have established a successful thought pattern in their minds. You are on the beam when you can truthfully say, "I know precisely what I want from life, and I have faith I shall get it." You are not on the beam when you have no definite major purpose, and you are drifting aimlessly through life. People who are failures are also on the beam, but they are on the negative side of the beam, because they have neglected to use those riches which came over with them in those 2 sealed envelopes. They have placed themselves under the influence of hypnotic rhythm, which is the negative application of cosmic habit force. There is one word which doctors dread. That word is fixation. When a patient is in fixation, it usually means that the sick person believes in his or her sickness as something that cannot be cured. But fixations can also become a priceless asset by those who have discovered the great master key to success and have learned how to develop fixations in their minds based on the things they desire most in life. Cosmic habit force is the power which makes these fixations permanent. You should have a definite fixation based on your major purpose in life, but you are the only one who can create this fixation. You can do it by taking possession of your own mind and keeping it directed toward the attainment of your purpose. If you will do this by following all the instructions in this book, in a short time you will find yourself on the beam and headed directly toward everything you desire and deserve to receive. In conclusion, remember that your mental attitude is something you can control outright, and you must use self-discipline until you create a thought pattern or habit that keeps your mental attitude positive at all times. Your mental attitude is important because it acts as a magnet which attracts to you every circumstance that makes you what you are and where you are. If you wish to keep on the beam that leads to success, be sure that you give cosmic habit force a thought pattern based on the things you want most in life, and it will do the rest.